There are some pretty eye-catching, interesting hardware designs on the box of these Liberty 2 Pro headphones from Soundcore. These drawings show an internal speaker construction that I've never seen before. This video is sponsored by Soundcore, and today I'll be taking apart their new in-ear studio performance headphones to see if the insides look as cool as the box says they are. I decided to compare the Soundcore hardware side by side with Apple's newest AirPod Pros with that white Q-tip stem design. The AirPod Pros probably have that traditional speaker inside, so it should be an interesting video. Let's get started. Let's start by taking apart the Liberty Pro 2s. Now, it's not very often that headphone technology is shaken up by something new, but Soundcore's tech is definitely different. They call it the Astria Coaxial Acoustic Architecture, which sounds like a bit of marketing jargon, but I'll break down the naming while I break open the headphones. Astria is the Greek goddess of purity, which Soundcore believes is a reflection of the sound produced by the Liberty 2 Pro. Pure, meaning it's true to life. So that's the first word. The coaxial acoustic architecture means that instead of one traditional speaker inside these wireless earbuds, we should find two. Coaxial means they are lined up on top of each other and pump out sound at the same time, so that the sound isn't disrupting or competing with itself. The Liberty Pro 2s are IPX4, meaning they're sweat resistant, sealed shut, and very hard to get inside. That IPX4 rating is the same water resistance rating that the AirPod Pros have, so both of these are going to be difficult to open, and will also both probably be destroyed when I'm done. F in chat for the earbuds. After slicing through the glued shut plastic housing and prying out the speaker unit, we get our first look at the coaxial drivers. It's definitely unique. That pointy niblet in the center is the Knowles balanced armature, and hidden in that bottom circular coin-looking thing is the normal speaker that's tuned specifically for bass. This is the world's first pair of symmetrically aligned coaxial drivers in wireless headphones, which means that all of the sound is directly aligned with the listener's ears. The terminology, of course, isn't as important as seeing the hardware itself, though, since the rectangular pointy niblet armature thing in the center handles those mids and highs. That circular driver below it can focus on just handling the lows, sharing the workload, which makes the sound cleaner and clearer than a normal headphone could with a single speaker trying to make all the noise by its lonesome. I'll pull apart that bass driver in just a second. 10 Grammy Award-winning producers worked on these Soundcore headphones to create that in-ear studio performance. You know how movie theater sound systems and even home stereo systems come with different size speakers to handle the different sounds. Now these Anker Soundcore Liberty 2 Pros can do it all in a very tiny space. It's a little sound-accurate theater for your ear. It has a super small 65 mAh lithium battery in each bud, which has 8 hours of playtime. I'll come back to these in a second. Now let's talk about the AirPod Pros. These guys cost $250. Twice as expensive as the Liberty 2 Pros we just took apart. The AirPod Pros have a pretty seamless water-resistant design, so getting inside will once again destroy the headphones, but it's the only way to see the hardware. Squeezing the headphones pops open the seam between the head and the shaft, and then I can slice my way around the opening. Another difference between these and the Liberty 2s is that the Apple AirPod Pros do have a noise-canceling feature, which is also pretty unique, but you'll have to decide for yourself whether it's worth that extra $100. Prying out the speaker inside the headphone once again is very difficult. Both companies are serious about their water resistance. Finally, after physically slicing off the front grille, we get our first glimpse inside. Apple has positioned a large rectangular microphone right inside the earpiece grille. The microphone blocks the speaker. The microphone is part of the noise cancellation. It listens to the inside of your ear for unwanted sounds and then cancels it out. The speaker is what we're here for, though, and that's this guy, which I've kind of destroyed. It's got a large white diaphragm in the center with a clear rubber surround. It's a singular speaker, meaning that it has to produce all of the mids, lows, and highs by itself. Don't get me wrong, both of these headphones sound great. I've paired both them up with my Android phone. This video is just comparing the internal hardware. The AirPod Pros have one single driver, and the Liberty Pro 2s have that new age dual symmetrical coaxial driver, and there are major physical differences between those two methods of delivering sound. I'll pop off the bottom of the stacked drivers inside these Liberty Pro 2s so we can see that lower dynamic speaker. And there it is, with its own copper coil and clear diaphragm. If you haven't been satisfied with the sound quality of wireless headphones in the past, maybe it's time to try something different. Normally these Liberty 2 Pros are about half the cost of the AirPod Pros, but with the link in the description of this video, you can get an extra $40 off the retail price. The Liberty Pro 2s are currently the only wireless headphones that exist with this Astria coaxial acoustic architecture setup. Taking apart the AirPod Pro 2 charging case, this guy can hold 24 hours worth of charge, and the buds themselves can last for 4.5 hours. The case is, once again, obviously not designed to come apart, but that's never stopped us before. The internals are actually pretty cool. Pulling off the top reveals the underside of the plastic molded earpiece slots, and then a few long ribbon cables headed down to the dual internal batteries. It's a dual cell 519 mAh capacity, and all of it charges up with Apple's proprietary Lightning port. The Soundcore case is also equally difficult to get inside. Pretty much no wireless headphones can ever be repaired easily, which is a bummer. One good thing about the Liberty 2 Pros though is that Soundcore has something called Hearing ID, which tests your hearing and adjusts each earbud so that they are acoustically matched to how your individual ear hears sounds. Every ear is different, and these earbuds can adapt the audio accordingly. The Liberty 2 case does have USB-C charging and a pretty glamorous wireless charging pad on the bottom. Why manufacturers don't make transparent tech anymore is beyond me. This thing looks pretty awesome. The AirPod case also has wireless charging glued into the side panel. It's a bit smaller of a coil, but still, both would look amazing with the transparent case. Now that we are inside, there are 4 screws holding the wireless charging pad to the motherboard. I can unscrew that, and then we can see the undersides of where the case can transfer its 24 hours of battery life into the 8-hour battery of the earbuds, for a total of 32 hours. The internal case battery is 500 mAh. I'm glad Soundcore sponsored this video. There is some pretty cool technology to be seen inside of the Liberty 2 Pros. I have my own pair that I've been using for about a month now, and both the lyrics and audio are super crisp, with some solid bass. They are a bit larger than the average pair of earbuds, so be ready for that, especially if you run a lot. Personally, I'd be okay with them sacrificing a bit of that 8-hour battery life for a smaller and lighter casing. Turns out the box is advertising the exact hardware inside of their earbud, and that's pretty cool. Since you made it this far in the video, Soundcore has made 10 awesome looking custom Jerry Rig Everything Edition Liberty 2 Pros, and they're doing a worldwide giveaway. So if you want one of these, I'll put the details of the giveaway down in the video description, alongside that limited time discount code for $40 off. Once again, huge thanks to Soundcore for sponsoring this video. Come hang out with me on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you around.